this is Jennifer from Belladonna's Botanicals, and Happy New Year! We have made it. It is the final day of the 12 Days of Yule Challenge, and this video is going to be talking about where will my occult practice go next? Good question. So every year I have different areas of focus, different new things I want to learn, different or returning to my roots and re-examining things from a different perspective. I started going back to some of my early poison path herbalism studies over the past few months, so that now looking at it from I've been doing this. So I've been doing that stuff for a long time. Sometimes it's good to revisit things. Did I miss something? Is there a little nugget of wisdom in there that I've incorporated or I am incorporate or need to incorporate? So that's something that I look at each year. And right now I've felt a little bit of a draw to revisit some of my more formal trainings in herbalism. I can link below if you're interested in, I think I did a video on it on Tales of an Occult Nerd, because I am a gigantic nerd. I love to learn. I have a passion for it. I read a lot. I take a lot of courses, get a lot of certifications. And sometimes I don't finish them, the certifications. So one of the things I've been looking at doing, I started a little bit of it. It's going to take me a while to get through it, is I never finished my primary herbalism certification that I started in 2018. I did a lot of the work, like more of the academic work for it. The way it's set up is that it's a very intensely long like all the details, like, I have to learn about dirt and soil propagation and, all this other stuff, edible weeds. It's very comprehensive, but I never finished it because when I was living in the city, I had a hard time trying to figure out how to do the experiential work, because not easy to work with. I don't have, I had, your basic backyard bunker of crap when I lived in the house in West Philly. So I didn't have a lot of room to do this. And there were a lot of other things going on where, up until 2021, I was still working my university academia job and doing the business both full time. Now, granted, after the thing that happened in March 2020, where we all suddenly had a whole bunch of free time and were home a lot, I was working from home doing both, so I was able to balance it better. But I didn't have the extra time as such to devote to finishing up some of these certifications that I left hanging in the balance. The two big ones were my clinical aromatherapy, which I did everything except I have to write a paper and finish the case studies for, and the herbalism one. I think there's two minor ones I have to finish at some point. But so that's one thing that I'm working on is getting a little bit back to the roots in a sense of herbalism in my practice, because there's sort of a division in the things where you kind of have the occult herbalism, which is sort of like the magical properties, and then you have sort of like the medicinal therapeutic herbalism. Same thing with aromatherapy, where it's kind of like, do I want to use lavender for love and friendship and stuff, or do I want to use lavender to help me sleep? So, there's a lot of duality there. So that's one aspect. As I've mentioned before, is I am embarking upon, this may take longer than a year, but I'm embarking upon the Goetia pathworking using S. Conley's 76-week Goetia and the Goetia workbook. So that's a little bit kind of the focus on the spirit side. I'm deciding whether I want to do any other type of certifications or trainings. I I did a whole lot I did the Usui Reiki ones, I think in 2021, 2022, 2021, 2022. I did a lot of crystal healing stuff and certifications. So I don't know. Like I might do more energy healing stuff, or different types of Reiki. Like I had done the level 1 shamanic Reiki. I'd like to complete that at some point. I just have to see when they have it scheduled. Because they do in person and online. So I just have to look into that a little bit more. I've been revisiting some of the Poison Path stuff because I realize I like haven't made anything new on that in like years. Like I'm working on reformulating and paring down and adding some stuff into my Poison Path offerings. So that's thing. I am also in the very, 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 very beginning foundations of starting to figure out writing a book. So I don't know if I'm going to self-publish or shop it out, but I don't think they're going to be lengthy books. I'm not looking to write, 1,000-page manual on, witchcraft or something. I would probably do some more like 100-page, starter kind of things. I read all sorts of stuff, whether it is a book that's this thick or, something that's 100 pages, they're equally valuable. So sometimes it's easier just to read a smaller book on one like little topic versus the big tome that has all the things in it. But I digress. So that's another thing. I'm very much of a going where the day takes me kind of person. And honestly, I just want to give out again a huge shout out to Ivy the Occultist for the 12 Days of Yule Challenge. This has kind of pushed me a little bit out of my comfort zone with making videos. I don't do a whole lot of videos where I demonstrate, doing kind of spell work. I did my first video, like, I did one before, but like, going out and doing videos, outside of my house and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different things that I can do. I'm looking at there on ways to expand my content creation, because I love making videos and talking and stuff and educating, just as much as I love making things. It's not like, oh God, I gotta sit down and make a YouTube video. That's something I really enjoy. So, and this year I've made, oh my God, I don't even know how many videos I dropped this year. Well, needless to say, in 2023, I made more videos in the beginning part of this year than I had in the first 3 years of my channel. So I've been bringing a lot of content. And I'm going to keep doing that. I do, sometimes, it varies, but I at least try to do 1 or 2 videos a week. So, and there's different serial ones I do. Like I do like a monthly witchy haul video now. I've been doing a monthly like Belladonna's Botanicals update videos of here's what's going on the business end of things if you're interested, or what's going on in my life. So, yeah. So I a lot of times go where the day takes me, because I don't know what's going to happen 25 days from now. I may have a sudden inspiration, revelation, gnosis, or sometimes the spirits like to give me a lot of homework and things to do. So a lot of it's incorporating things that come up in that way. I'm looking at expanding the business more, which is going to take some rolling up the sleeves and some elbow grease, into a lot of mundane stuff, and then also supporting the mundane stuff with magical things. If I want to, I want to increase my YouTube subscribers to 10,000 by the end of the year. Well, okay, that's great. I'm at 3,200 right now. How am I going to do that? I mean, I could do some glamour magic. I can do, some magnetism kind of work or manifestation work. I can do some mundane stuff like more promotion and figuring out why algorithms are a gigantic ass pain anymore. So there's all of that. And yeah, so I think that's probably the nuts and bolts of that. I am starting to vend at events again this year. I took some time off from that. Honestly, just gonna say it. The witchy scene in Philly is kind of meh. It really is. It's almost it's sadly almost non-existent. Like, I was so surprised, like, when I moved out of the city, I was like, "Oh my god, there's gonna be I'm gonna be like the town freak again." It's gonna be like when, the Owens, sisters are reunited in Practical Magic, and, the townsfolk are like, "Ah," in the beginning. But, yeah, so I fully expected to just be, you know, in a void of anything witchy to do. I was wrong. The witchy metaphysical scene outside of Philadelphia is so much more thriving than I had could possibly have imagined. Like, since I've moved in the literal 3 months that I've been here, I've gone to more witchy events than I have in the past 5 years in Philadelphia. So yeah. So I'm gonna be vending at events. The first one is January 7th. It's gonna be a monthly event at the local metaphysical shop that's literally down the hill, Kindred Spirits. It's gonna be in Hellertown. I'll push out the details once I get around to it, which hopefully I'll do before the 7th. But I have that. I'm also going to be speaking at the Botanica Obscura conference again in March. This is online. Tickets just went on sale. Highly recommend it. It was a great, it was really great. And like, I spoke last year, and it was amazing to be to speaking among like some of my like mentors and like people who like, I mean, Harold Roth was there. I took his Witching Herbs Poison Path class. Thomas Hatsis, who I love his channel, The Psychedelic Historian. Definitely check him out. Amazing author, Witch's Ointment, Microdosing Magic. I don't remember the whole title, but something on the history of LSD. And I know I'm missing another book or two in there. But, all these amazing people. It's run by Kobe Michael, Poisoner's Apothecary. I just did a podcast with him a month ago, maybe, author of The Poison Path Herbal. S. Conley spoke last year, Amy Blackthorne. I know Amy, Amy was how I ended up on the poison path, because when I was kind of first, getting, situated in doing witchy things, she had asked me if I carried meditation balms. I'm like, what is this of which you speak? And that's how I learned about flying ointments. And it was right at the same time where Chris and Tara, they're both the authors of Besom, Stang and Sword. They were vending at one of the local pagan pride things. I picked up some of her flying ointments, and the rest is kind of history from there. So it was so amazing to be speaking amongst people, colleagues and mentors and teachers. And I'm probably leaving a whole bunch out because there was like 20 some different, presenters, authors, practitioners. It was really wonderful. So I'm very much looking forward to that, and need to start getting my presentation together for that, because I am going to be talking about how psychedelic medicine saved my life. So, because it does overarch the Botanica Obscura, it overarches occult herbalism, poison path, psychedelic medicine, all of that. So highly recommend. I'll have links below. And the other event that I'm going to be doing, I'm very excited about. This is going to be in the fall. I think it's September 7th. Don't quote me on it. I don't remember off the top of my head. I will link below to this, but I'm going to be vending at the Lehigh Valley Wicked Plant Festival. It's a huge event. Like last year they had like 6,000 people in attendance. So I'm like, I don't think I've been to any events in Philly that had that many people in attendance. Because most of the events in Philly they're more dark arts than witchcraft oriented. Like if you want a terrarium with some bones and stuff like that kind of stuff, or like, you know, gothic dark art, drawings and stuff. It was more, a lot of it was more geared to that kind of work, which is great. I love that kind of work. It's just not necessarily what I do. Like I'm so niche into the witchcraft part of it. And I did test the waters a bit with making sort of just general dark, dark and spooky gothic themed products. And honestly, they did not do well at all. The stuff that I make, as long as if it has an intention to it, people buy it. If it's just dark, spooky goo number one, no. It does. I mean, they sell, but not as well. It's kind of like if something, if the other stuff is up here at selling at this level, the rest of it's selling down here and not ending up to be worth it. So I'm very much looking forward to that. There's a lot of other events going on. I know I missed the deadline for the Spring Wicked Plant Festival and possibly the Oddities Expo in June, but there's a lot of events going on. I'm definitely going to be looking into vending at them more. I'm still just learning about all the different events that are happening all over the place. Some of them are close, some of them are a little further. There's some up in the Poconos. So I'm just excited to have like a regular community that I can get together with, like the Lehigh Valley Pagan Pride group does, regular events for all the Sabbats and probably some other stuff. So I'm very excited about like outside of 2024 being an election year in the United States, I'm actually really excited for 2024. Fingers crossed, but I can't say that I get excited for a new year very often because most of the times the past ones kind of sucked. I haven't had a good New Year's. It's been a while. Yeah. So anyways, I'm going to wrap up here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Follow us on social media. Sign up for our e-newsletter so you know all the awesome things we are doing. And I love you all. Bye. And Happy New Year's.